Wow. Fully just took a minute to play Animal Crossing. Anyway, I had a pretty good and productive day. Okay, so I thought I would take you through a week in my life as a Microsoft intern. Um, I am a PM intern, which stands for Program Management. Um, it's kind of like a hazy definition. I think every tech company defines PM differently, but at Microsoft, it's a little bit of a blend of technical skills and also like business slash larger direction of where a product is going skills. Essentially, I wanted to record myself um, over a course of a week and just give you a sense of like what it's like being an intern at Microsoft, and also specifically what is it like being an intern at Microsoft during this pandemic. Some context: I am a rising senior at Princeton. I study computer science, and I am a program manager intern on the premium display and drivers team, which is under this larger organization called the graphics team, which is also underneath. There's several layers, but basically I work on a team that deals with the core operating system, and my team specifically deals with how graphics play a role in the operating system. So it's the quality of the display in terms of like refresh rate, um, black screen error, like how color settings and brightness settings are calibrated depending on the monitor. Um, yeah, so anywhere between like the physical display to applications in gaming. I wanted to record this video series because before I became a PM intern, I had a lot of questions about like what is a PM exactly. Like as a software engineering intern, it's pretty clear what your job is. Like you are a software developer, you are working on specific feature areas and writing code to tackle problems in the area or write features that could be shipped to a company's app or product or whatever. But as a PM, it's a little bit hazy what it is. It's like you do something that's related to tech, but you're also not always coding, but you're also like business oriented sometimes. Like, what is the role exactly? And so I thought I would record a week in my life and kind of explain what it is, like what is a PM, and what the experience of being an intern specifically at Microsoft is like. As you'll probably see during my week, there's a lot of meetings, but there's also some, as an intern at least, um, there's also a lot of time where I spend researching or just kind of understanding what my feature area is. Sometimes that time is spent writing specs and like writing about what the business impact is. So there's a lot of reading and writing involved in my day-to-day job, and a lot of meetings as well, probably more than an average software engineering intern. Okay, today is 11 a.m. on Monday. Today's first day of work, or first day of the work week. I guess I'll just like walk you through what I have today, my schedule. Okay, so this is the notebook that I use to write down meeting notes and plan my to-do list for the day. I'm pretty old-fashioned and my handwriting is pretty terrible, but I don't know, I prefer writing things down versus checking things off online. I just find it a little more satisfying and helps me organize my thoughts better. But yeah, this is a good example. So I usually have the day written and any notes from today, and then a to-do list where I write a square and then things I need to do, and then check it off as I go. Yeah, and sometimes I will just write down things that some notes that I have during the meeting, and I'll have like specific meeting with, and then in like a upcoming meeting, I'll be sure to like bring up these points that I want to talk about. Yeah, and then it's fine if I don't complete my to-do list, but I try to go back and check off things that I haven't done. Yeah. Okay, so this is the outline of my work week. This past weekend was intern puzzle day, where full-time employees come up with puzzles for interns to solve, and it was actually really fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun trying to solve the puzzles that they came up with, because they varied from like Sudoku and like an anagram to some kind of like word puzzles to like unscrambling things. Some of them were really in depth and had like multiple layers they had unsolved through. quite a challenge. Yeah, but it was really fun. So normally my team every morning has like a little virtual check-in where we all like hop in on the call, talk about how we're feeling today and any things that are blocking us from doing work today. And there's this optional like morning coffee and tea where someone else on my team has started, where you just kind of like hop in, talk about whatever for 30 minutes and then start your day. I sometimes go to that, sometimes I have other things scheduled over it, so. I also have a coffee chat with someone that I met when I interviewed for the job, so that'll be interesting. I'm trying to make an active effort to reach out to other interns because it's like pretty difficult to get to know people, especially when you're like living at home and you don't really have like the energy or time outside of weekends to continue sitting at your desk and like socializing with people virtually. So I try to schedule in coffee chats with people. Yeah, it's been pretty helpful to get to know other people, but it does not replace getting to know people in person. Yeah. I also have a weekly team meeting today and a few other projects that I'm working on. I don't know how in depth I can talk about the projects that I'm working on, but it relates to my team area is called Premium Display and Drivers. So it's on the graphics team and it's about how the software, like the operating system software, works with drivers to create like drivers and hardware manufacturers to create the most optimal experience when you're viewing your physical screen. I would say today is a pretty meeting heavy day. I have meetings from like, it's technically 11 my time, but it's 9 Pacific time, so 9:15 to honestly like 12, like around noon, and then I have another meeting from like 2:30 to 3:30. It's very hard to do the time zone calculations, but basically I would say like 2/3 of my day is filled with meetings today. So there are also tons of like extra intern events that if you're interested in going to. For example, today there's like an hour and a half fireside chat on gaming for everyone. So yeah, it's about Xbox and philanthropy and their initiative called Gaming for Everyone, that like strives to bring gaming to everyone. So yeah, there are tons of events like these for interns if you're interested in learning more about a certain team or a certain product area or just certain initiatives that Microsoft starts. And these happen like at least like 2 or 3 times a week. Like later this week, there's also another one called the Women's Symposium, where women in tech and Microsoft also talk about their experiences and what they're working on. There's also another one later this week called Green Tech Intern Forum, which I assume is about sustainability and tech and what Microsoft is doing there. Yeah, so there's tons of those that are completely optional, but if you're interested in those topics, I think they're like pretty worthwhile to go to. And I like that Microsoft's making an effort to involve interns in other parts of the company, because when you work here, especially virtually, it's easy to feel extremely distant from everything, and like you're just like a small fish in this entire sea of like over 100,000 employees working on so many different things. Okay, it is now 3 p.m. I've had 3 back-to-back meetings, so I think it's time to take a little break. Yeah, normally I take a few like 20 minute breaks a day. Usually during this time I'll like either make some tea for myself or play some Animal Crossing. I also ordered some puzzles on Amazon earlier this month and I have been doing those, but being the puzzle master that I am, I finished them already. So I can also give a little tour of my workspace for now. Here's my work computer that they sent me, monitor, keyboard, mouse, headphones. And then since the area that I'm working on is around HDR, I have this really nice HDR gaming monitor and HDR laptop, and then also a mouse for it. So yeah, I have a lot of hardware. Okay, it is 6:45. I am done with Monday. I had a pretty productive day. I was able to get what I wanted done. Still have a little bit more to do on my project tomorrow, but I feel like I'm making good progress and I should finish ahead of time. I told my manager I'd finish by Monday, and uh, yeah, I will probably finish by tomorrow, so making good progress. Alright, today is Tuesday morning. Hello everyone. I don't really have that much to do today. I want to get started on my personal project. I don't have that many meetings besides a one-on-one with my manager and also a meeting to discuss a hackathon project. In 2 weeks from now is the 1 week hackathon that is company-wide, and I joined a team that wants to either use the Xbox Connect or some other hardware software solution to let people with limb differences play guitar. And so there's a kickoff meeting about that to discuss how we're splitting up roles during the 1 week hackathon and what other things need to happen before we actually get started. So I have a meeting about that, and then I also have a one-on-one with my manager. And then besides that, there are a few intern events that I'm thinking about maybe going to, Q&As, but for the most part, I think I'm just gonna spend today getting work done for my project. Okay, it is currently 6:41. Just finished Tuesday's workday. About to have dinner, and yeah, I might go outside and longboard for a bit, but it's 99 degrees, feels 110, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But when it's not as hot outside, I tend to do some sort of physical activity after work because I've been sitting all day and staring at a computer screen. Yeah, hello. Today is Wednesday morning. It is 11 a.m., aka 9 a.m. Pacific time. This morning, or today, I have quite a lot of meetings. I think today's a meeting heavy day. I have a one-on-one / coffee chat with someone that I was paired with the intern networking program, which is a program that matches you with a full-time employee once every 2 weeks to ask them about their life at Microsoft, their career journey, all that stuff, and what team they're on. So it's just a way to connect with other full-time employees. And I also have a meeting to go over some survey data results with someone else on my team, and a demo / talk with about graphics within my larger graphics team. There's also my coworkers are having wine Wednesdays on Wednesdays. I don't often go to it because that's normally when I have dinner, but sometimes we have a little happy hour at the end of the day where people drink wine, but sometimes they don't. Yeah, so today's a pretty packed day, but let's get started. All right, I realized I never recorded an end of the day check-in today, but I stopped working around 5:30, 6 today. Yeah, the tech talk / demo was really interesting today. It was about variable rate shading, which basically when you want to render an image, it takes a little bit of the time and cost off of the CPU by essentially detecting where things in the background, for instance this wall, doesn't need to have every single pixel shaded very exactly. So it detects which parts don't really have that much detail and could be shaded a little coarsely, and then some details where it's the edge between this wall and this window needs to be very clear. So that is at the normal speed. Yeah, I am probably not explaining it very well, but it was just really cool to see what people are up to and what people are working on. Yeah, I think that's one of the cool things about Microsoft is that everyone is. Some people have been at Microsoft for a very long time and know a lot about a very specific field, especially in graphics, where some people have been working on the team for 20 plus years. They have a lot of experience in graphics and were there from the beginning in developing some of the technologies. So it's really cool to see and talk to some of these people. Hey, it is Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Today's a pretty meeting-free day, so probably just gonna get some work done. Um, yeah, I think the only meeting that I have is a meet and greet with the corporate vice president of my larger organization. So it should be interesting to see what she has to say. Yeah, so just finished a Q&A with the CVP of my organization. It was super cool. So yeah, it's really nice when your boss's boss's boss is a woman in tech. And she's been in the industry for 35 plus years. I think like maybe 40 or 45 years. I don't really know how long, but she's been in the industry for a while, like since the 70s or 80s. It was really cool to hear her speak about her experiences, what she thinks like makes a good PM and essential skills and things that she's learned along the way, and also what it's like being starting out in tech as a woman back when she was like the only female in her entire engineering graduating class. Yeah, so have a lot of respect, and it was really, really cool to hear her perspective. She talked a lot about like spending your minutes very wisely. So like your time is how you determine it to be, and she talked about like having a set like 8-ish hour day and being really focused during work, and then when she's left to work, like being really focused and present with her family and things that she prioritized outside of work, and still like progressing in her career and being able to be really hands-on with her kids and grandchildren. So it was really cool to see like another woman out there successfully balancing like life and career and all the things that she wanted and still being successful. So it was pretty cool. Okay, I've changed rooms or workspaces because I was kind of getting tired of staring at my monitor and just sitting in that spot. It was kind of making my head hurt. It happens when you stare at a screen like all day, every day. Okay, it is 7:30 p.m. I just finished dinner, so I like finished work around 6:30, 6:45ish, and then I did some dinner. I think I'm gonna go and work some more. Just because the other day I went to the store to buy camp stove fuel because I'm going camping this weekend. So I kind of want to just make up the hour that I lost by going to the store and getting camp stove fuel. But normally this is like maybe the first or second time the entire summer that I've worked after dinner, so this is not a common occurrence at all. So just letting you know, like, I feel like as a tech intern, you work pretty reasonable hours. Hello, it is Friday morning at 11:13. I don't really have that much going on today. I have the morning check-in as usual at 11:15, so right after this, and then I have the graphics wide PM team meeting that happens every Friday. And then besides that, like I probably spend the day just reading up on some stuff, sending out some emails. Yeah, very chill day today, and I'm planning on leaving like right after work around like 5:30 or 6 because I'm going camping this weekend, so it'll be fun. It's like my first weekend that I've like done something this entire summer. So yeah, such is life during quarantine where we're stuck at home all day. So I'm very excited for today and this weekend. An interesting thought occurred to me during our weekly team meeting today. So usually in the team meetings, we usually go over some news related to gaming or like the ecosystem around like gaming development. And yeah, I think an interesting realization that I had was that a lot of PM work tends to be thinking about the future, and you have to like stay informed about what is going on at Microsoft, what is going on in the broader gaming world, what is going on with game studios and developers, and you really have to keep a tab of like what the news is currently about. And when you're developing things, you need to be thinking about like what is it going to look like in 3 years or 5 years, or if I develop a feature now, like how will people adopt it in like a year from now or 2 years from now. Whereas a developer is more like, I think this would be a really cool product to make or a really cool feature to make, and they're more concerned about like this is something that I really want to create, and how do I get the technology to do what I want to do? Like, how do I, this is a really cool feature. I'm going to work on using cool technology to solve this problem. So I think this is a really important distinction between a PM and a software engineering developer in my experience so far. So if you like thinking about long-term problems and thinking about things like 2 or 3 years down the line, and having a pulse on like community news, I think PM is like a really good track. Whereas if you care about one specific area a lot and you want to make really cool features that will be used by a lot of people, I think software engineering is the route for you. So I think that's what I've learned so far, and that's the realization that I had in the meeting today, because we were talking about some news that came out recently that someone on my team had been working on for several years, and it's finally getting the level of adoption and recognition that they had hoped for in the beginning. Okay, cool. It is Friday at 5:32 p.m. and yeah, I think I'm ready for the weekend. I'm done with most of the things. I'm done with everything I want to do today, and a pretty productive day. Had a pretty productive afternoon. I was able to finish the PowerPoint that I was working on and do a little bit of analysis on like the spreadsheet that compiled the survey data. So yeah, I was able to get everything that I wanted done, and now the weekend is here. Yay! I'm very excited to go camping.